And I'm looking across the studio at a computer that usually is moving when we're recording for the YouTube channel, and we see a stagnant chat on that computer too. So looks like we're recording now. So,
okay. We're on it.
All right. Well, as Keith gets that all put together here, we're doing things a little bit backwards this morning. Going to do some community reminders and announcements here first, as we do have a guest that is, we believe, coming in shortly here. So we doing things a little bit backwards this morning, but a couple things to announce coming up in the community reminders. We do have cemetery spring cleanup going on right now. This is where we encourage those who have sites or family members with stones up at our cemeteries to make sure to clean up anything that isn't attached to headstones before March 31st. So that deadline is coming up on Monday. On April 1st, our staff at the city will begin to pick up anything that is scattered on the ground as we prepare for the grass mowing season coming up in the cemeteries. So we also have hydrant flushing coming up. That begins on March 31st. That's Monday and runs through April the 4th. Coming up in town. We also would like to talk about and announce we have on April the 5th, the police department is holding their dementia-friendly fundraiser run, part of the Impact program and initiative at the police department. That 5K race that's at the Richmond Hill Park on April the 5th. You can check out the police department's Facebook page for more information, or just stop by if you want to find out more about that. I believe the actual 5K starts at 9 a.m. And that is a Saturday morning coming up. A lot of folks are asking about spring cleanup. That begins on, or takes place, I should say, on May 5th through the 8th, so we're still over a month out from that. That's done in quadrants in town. You can check out the city Facebook page or the city website, cityofgeneseo.com, for more information on the quadrant and when your spring junk curbside cleanup will take place. We've been doing it every year where the garage sale weekend is the weekend before spring cleanup. That seems to make a lot of sense to have the garage sales, and then things that people want to get rid of that they may not have sold can go into the curbside junk pickup pile. So that will take place the weekend right before May the 5th there as well. So a reminder on that. The Chamber of Commerce organizes that, puts together advertisement lists and promotion on if you want to join, to have your address on that list. Talk to the Geneseo Chamber of Commerce in City Hall. All right, Keith, I think those are the main reminder announcements as we kind of move things backwards a little bit today.
Yeah, a little bit, but all is good now. We're recording. You can actually see us, which actually may or may not be beneficial.
Yeah, they may have preferred the downtown shot.
Probably, yeah. But anyway, we plugged the hole in the ship here, and I think we're okay. But we are happy to welcome our guest this morning. We have Jamie Katofsky with us, maybe a familiar name to anyone that has students involved in anything musical at the middle school or high school. But Jamie's also involved in a project or I can let her speak about it, called Swaddling Clothes, and we thought it would be nice to have her come in and speak about just this community service that she is a part of. So good morning, Jamie, and usually Brandon will be asking the questions and that sort of thing, but I'll step in this morning. But maybe you can give, most people know you, I would think, but maybe give a little bit of a brief history, though, of yourself and how you ended up here in Geneseo, and just a quick little... Who's Jamie Katofsky?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me here. I am a Geneseo native, and my husband and I were kind of all over Illinois for a while and ended up back here. And he is also a music teacher, so he's currently teaching in Rock Island, and then I'm teaching here in town. And so we have been attending my childhood church, Concordia Lutheran, and while we were living in another town, we were we became aware of Swaddling Clothes and its mission, and we thought it was something that we would like to bring here into our community and help those who are able to come and visit us.
And Swaddling Clothes, as the name would imply, but this has something to do with babies, I would think.
Yep. So we are gifts for moms and babes is our tagline, and so we have anything from pregnant moms to nursing moms, kids preemie through 5T, and anyone can come in and shop our shopping room, and that is completely free. Anything in the room you're welcome to take. We can provide diapers, wipes, we've sent cribs, car seats, pretty much anything you can think of we've had go through our doors, and it depends on what people are donating. So sometimes it can be a little hit or miss as to what we're able to provide, but we do our best to, if someone is looking for something specific, to try to find it for them.
Mm-hmm. So Swaddling Clothes, is this a nationwide initiative? Is it a nonprofit, or is it just specific to Geneseo?
So it's a nonprofit that was created by a pastor's wife in Channahon, Illinois, and she was a part of the LCMS, the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, and so right now it is a mission of just LCMS churches, and so she travels helping set them up in other locations, and so we're one of those locations now here in Geneseo.
Gotcha.
And it is open to everyone, though.
Mm-hmm.
There is no real pre-qualification or what have you, kind of
Nope.
an honor system insofar as what your needs and stuff may be. But you mentioned some of the items that are available. Well, what do you find are some of the things that mothers and parents are most in need of, or some of the more popular items, I guess?
Sure. Our consumables go really quickly. So diapers, especially sizes 4 through 6, surprisingly, wipes, and then also formula is something that we have a hard time keeping stocked. So those are the 3 that we go through the quickest.
And the location is here in Geneseo at Concordia Church, which is at the corner of North and Oakwood. Mm-hmm. And the hours of availability, that sort of thing?
Yep. So we are open for shopping every second Thursday from 4 to 7 and every fourth Saturday from 9 to noon. And then if people would like to give donations of clothing or whatever it may be, those can be dropped off in the church's office anytime they're open, which is typically 9 to 1 or 9 to 3.
And you touched on it, but again, this is open to everyone, but it's an effort to provide an outreach to what have you to those parents that have financial need, may not have resources and what have you, to where they can come and it's being a little familiar with what we have available, but yeah, there's pretty much most anything you could probably think of that you can need is available there, and it's just a way to help out financially, but also too, a lot of times you have bouncers or different things that are in good condition. It's also a good way to reuse, recycle, and do all that as well, and have them go on and serve a need for somebody else also.
Indeed. Yeah. And so we've been very blessed in that we have people coming from the cities, people coming from Geneseo, kind of all over. And like you said and touched on, there are no requirements. We do have a waiver to fill out. Since we are sometimes sending home car seats and cribs, there's a waiver to sign. But you don't need to provide proof of income or anything like that. You can just come in, fill out the waiver, and shop and get what you need.
And I would imagine, too, there's some degree with other organizations in town, the food pantry and that sort of thing, that may point your way and vice versa as there's a need.
Yes, and the food pantry's been a big help with that. They've sent people our way, especially since one of the things that the food pantry can't provide is like the car seats and cribs. And so if they have someone in need of those, they'll try to send them our way, which is a big help.
Mm-hmm. So you can see a lot of people, maybe thinking this would be interesting to donate to rather than put a good item in a junk pile for spring cleanup, or maybe even outside of donating to Goodwill where it's going to be resold, but to give to you guys for somebody in need, is do the clothes or the items, so can they be used, or are you looking for new clothing, or gently used, I guess is maybe the term?
Gently used is our term. Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as they're still in good condition, we're happy to accept anything. We have had some people bring in new clothes, but the majority of what we have is pre-used, gently used. And then, if we need to, we clean it up and make sure it's in good condition for our clients.
And if you're, is there a particular, and I know you touched on it earlier about the diapers and that sort of thing, but if there is somebody listening that would want to maybe help out, so with diapers or a monetary donation, what would be the most effective way to assist with the program if someone chose to?
Sure. Monetary donations are always helpful, as we can purchase what our clients' needs are just at the time. But like I said, we are going through a lot of sizes 4 through 6 diapers. Wipes are something we always go through. Diaper cream actually is a current need. And then formula or baby food is always a hot item as well.
Well, it's like I say, being a little familiar with it, I guess if I have, the daughter running it and the wife helping out and and that sort of thing. But it really is for the parents that come and I guess what am I trying to say here? You can tell it really is providing a help to them and how much they really rely on this. And a lot of times, it's a little. It's just a nice way to where you can come in and there aren't big crowds or what have you, and you can look around and just ask. And a lot of times, if there isn't even something available, but there is a need, just let us know. It'll appear somehow,
Yep.
and you'll be taken care of. But it's probably helped dozens and dozens of young families in town as they get started, and sometimes you just find yourself in a tough situation, and this is a way to recognize that and make an effort to just to reach out and help out and make it through those first few years, particularly for a new parent. You go, okay, you think you have things figured out until, wow, those diapers are expensive. Oh, these things are
Things certainly cost a lot.
They start adding up, and then you find yourself sometimes just needing some help. And Swaddling Clothes would definitely be an organization that would be there to help. So it's you said you're 2 days a week is when you're officially open?
2 days a month, yep.
Or a month, I should say.
Okay.
Right now, Jamie broke into a cold sweat. No.
Every second Thursday from 4 to 7, and then every fourth Saturday from 9 to noon.
And if there is some special need or a special situation, is there a website or some way to get a hold of you or find out additional information?
Yes, we have a website and a Facebook page, so you can search Geneseo Swaddling Clothes on any search engine and we should pop up. I can also be emailed at geneseo@swaddlingclothes.org.
And two, I think probably if we were to call the Concordia Church office, they also could take a message or get the word.
Yes, they absolutely could. So, you could call the church office, I think 944-3993, and speak with Stephanie.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming in this morning and sharing on the Swaddling Clothes project. And again, if anybody's listening, they want to help support it, get a hold of Jamie. I'm sure they'd be happy for any assistance that you could provide. So
I'd say skip the hassle of a garage sale and, just drop your things by for young families. What a great way to help others. And, rather than make $10 at the garage sale, if you have these items, bring them by. Feel good about it.
There you go. I like Brandon's thinking, right?
That's nice.
But,
we like it.
But make sure it's gently used, though.
Gently used.
Gently used.
Some things may need to actually go on the pile, and that's okay too, if they've served their useful life. But definitely, because somebody can definitely use it. That's for sure. So, all right. Well, thanks again, Jamie, for stopping in and spending some time with us this morning. I know, Brandon, we had been speaking as well about some of the things going on with the city. And I don't know if you had a few more on your list here before we turn the mic over to Justin.
Yeah, well, we can got a little bit of time here for a few project updates. Probably the most visible ones is the North State Street project. We saw the Langman Construction, start back up the project earlier this week. This is what we call Phase 1, Part B, from Palos Row to Wells Street. So we see that block of North State closed now for the continuation of the project up North State. This project is a lot bigger than what you see closed right there. We're in planning stages for what we call Phase 2 of the project, which is from Wells to Ogden, all the way up here to the high school on North State Street. And this is, as we've talked about many times, a complete replacement of all underground infrastructure, as well as, of course, the new street pavement going back in, new sidewalk, and then quite an enhancement on the electric side. And in this next phase specifically, we're going to be going underground with electrical, as well as moving to street lighting that is a mirror image of the downtown, the decorative, what we call the Acorn decorative lighting, which will extend from downtown Geneseo all the way up to the high school here on State Street. So that'll be a nice kind of a beautification initiative. Nice to be able to go underground with electrical service from the overhead when we can, and to people's homes in that area. So nice enhancement that will be done by the electric department for those homeowners too. Benefit of maybe some of the inconveniences of this project and having the street torn up in front of them, but it will be a beautiful new service, and the elimination of those wires when it's all said and done. So that will continue. Right now we don't lock down these dates, but the schedule puts the project 1B, Phase 1B, what we're in, going up to Wells now. Completion date in August is when we should be wrapping that up. So, some of our favorite events that you may participate in coming up this spring and summer, we'll have some, the chamber or other organizations will have a couple of reroutes on parades and 5Ks potentially. I think there's one race in there that just have a slightly altered route. So pay attention to that stuff as things are announced and routes as well.
And you can get a sense of what it's going to be like once completed. But with the first section over by First United Methodist Church, and the infrastructure, though, and as Brandon touched on also, but there's a lot of very old water pipes and sewer pipes and different things that need to be replaced. So yeah, it's a complete. We kind of see the pretty part, on the top, but a lot of the important stuff is the stuff that you don't see. But it's a good opportunity to go in there, do it once, do it right, be done with it, and also then we'll kind of complete the corridor then as State Street ends at South Oakwood at the creek. But all the way up to the high school, pretty much through the heart of downtown and through the heart of Geneseo, we'll have a nice uniform appearance, and I think it'll be a nice asset for the community once it's all finished up.
Yeah. The other thing we can talk about a little bit, as we have a few more minutes here, is Richmond Hill Park stage pavilion structure. We've moved forward with this project. This is a permanent stage structure that will go into the Richmond Hill Park. If folks go up to the annual Thrill on the Hill fireworks display, you're familiar with where we usually have a band play on a flatbed trailer. That will become a permanent stage structure there. We've been working with the Girl Scouts and local Girl Scout Hannah McGee here from the Geneseo High School is looking at engineering in her future after high school, and it's been a neat collaboration. She's helped write some grants, participates in planning meetings, the many processes that take place to get a project like this done. And so we are moving forward with that. We've raised about half of the funding's going to come from donated funds and grants, which is great. We will be pouring concrete up there in the coming about a month and a half probably, and then the overhead stage timber structure will go up most likely after the 4th of July. So we'll have the band probably just on a concrete pad and the foundation for this beautiful new overhead structure, which will come midsummer. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's always a lot going on up at Richmond Hill, but this will provide a nice venue to have bands and different events as well utilize this space, and looking forward to having that completed.
Yeah, and it's not just for the Thrill on the Hill once a year celebration. This is really trying to take a look at the future and planning for doing more events, more tourism. Can we have some larger shows? We have a great partnership with Central Bank in downtown on their property. They have a music series, and can we continue to do more with that? We have a great music fest, and continue to add and have a new structure out there that can support the future of shows, and just for folks can rent it as well. Mm-hmm. So you have something going on. We've already had people ask about, boy, I thought it'd be neat to do a ceremony. It could be a wedding or a vow renewal, or these different things come up, and have kind of a neat spot for that. There are people that want to do that in Richmond Hill Park, and this will be an opportunity to have a rental facility that's set up a little bit nicer than your traditional gazebo or structure up there, and folks will be able to rent that as well.
Yeah, and it also helps, as you are trying to attract even, back on the musical side of it, performers and what have you. It makes it just more attractive if you have a facility already in place, and they can come do the setup. They have the electric, they have all that there, as opposed to trying to, do we have to, bring a tractor trailer flatbed or something to perform on, and just having those things in place tend to make it easier to bring some of these performers to the community, and anytime we can bring visitors to town, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm trying to think of what else new and exciting.
Yeah,
city-wise, that's quite a bit going on. Many probably have noticed, particularly if you live up by St. Malachy's, that part of town, but a lot of construction going on Olivia Drive. The townhome construction continues. Large addition to Woodridge seems to be starting back up. So a lot of just a lot of good things, a lot of growth, a lot of stuff happening in town, and maybe might be some new things and stuff that we can announce at some point here, hopefully in the not too distant future.
Yeah, one other thing I can talk about that came to the committee of the whole meeting. The city is applying to become a Tree City USA in 2025. That's an application due this fall. We're taking the steps now to do things that we haven't done in the past that are required to become a Tree City USA. It's a neat distinction to have, and it could assist in the future with grant applications and things of that nature too. But it does kind of memorialize what we do as far as tree planting initiatives. We get a lot of questions, like on the North State Street project, when unfortunately, utility issues, development, redevelopment sometimes require trees to come down. Sometimes trees their health is poor as well in town. You may not see it on the surface, but they have to come down, and it's unfortunate. But replanting initiatives and tree care, how we go about that with the city, these are all things memorialized in this ordinance, and how our residents treat trees as well. And so we've got that coming up. That's neat. We'll have an Arbor Day celebration, be planting some new trees on city property too in April. So more to come on that.
And not to do the ambush question, Brandon, but pretty sure on this, but the city actually does have it's on a kind of a limited basis, but does have a tree program. Maybe if you're looking to replace a tree on the parkway or something like that, give the city a call. Might be able to give some guidance there, and also one of the things that as part of this, and that we've been doing even prior to this, is recognizing though that the new tree that you plant, you pick a tree that's appropriate for the particular spot, recognizing what is that tree going to be in 20-30 years, type thing. And but yeah, it's a big part of the of the community. You know, every town loves their trees and what have you, and it's always difficult when you do a large project like Brandon references, that there are just some times that some trees have to go because of just where they're located, or their health is questionable enough to where they do pose a health safety risk, and they need to go. But the tree city designation would be great. Maybe it's a way to kind of put a little bit of emphasis on that aspect of our town.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, I guess with that, good seeing you, Brandon.
You as well. Right on cue at 8 o'clock.
There you go. That's going to wrap it up. We appreciate you listening, and we ask you to stay tuned, because in just a little bit, we're going to have Justin here with a weather update. So you've been listening to WGRG 100.5 FM in Geneseo. Have a great weekend.